Wire is brought to you by Resora. Elevate your real estate marketing with Resora. Effortlessly design, manage, and automate stunning email and social campaigns with our intuitive platform built for real estate. Say goodbye to complex marketing. Get started with your free account today at Resora.com. And by Notebook LM by Google. Unlock the power of your information with Notebook LM. Upload your documents and instantly access an expert AI that answers your questions, summarizes key points, and generates insights, all based on your specific sources. Become a knowledge master with Notebook LM. Try it now at notebooklm.google.
Buckle up, everyone. We're diving headfirst into the biggest real estate news from the past week.
Yeah, we've got quite a mix this time.
From mortgage rate madness to, we even found whispers of space mortgages.
It really shows how real estate's always changing.
You know, it reminds me of, remember those economists who were hinting that mortgage rates might drop?
Right.
Well, Freddie Mac data shows rates are actually close to 7% again.
Yeah, looks those predictions missed the mark.
It does, doesn't it?
It seems like a few things are keeping those rates up.
What are you seeing?
Well, strong jobs data, that's definitely a factor.
Okay, yeah.
Plus, there are still those lingering fears about inflation, right? And on top of all that, the Fed is still being pretty cautious.
And that's hitting buyers hard.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially when you think about Optimal Blue's findings.
Right.
They found that the share of conforming loans, it hit a record low back in December, only 51%.
Wow, so not only are rates high,
Yeah.
but it's also harder to qualify for a conventional loan now.
Exactly. It's a double whammy for buyers.
It is.
But how's that playing out in the market? What are we seeing?
Good question.
Altos Research, they reported that 2024 ended with a surge in home sales.
I saw that, yeah.
But January has been kind of slow.
Interesting. A little surprising.
It is. It makes you realize just how fast things can change.
Absolutely.
Makes you wonder if this slowdown, if it's going to affect Housing Wire's forecast.
Could be.
They initially projected 5% growth in home sales for this year.
Right. Well, we'll have to see how it all shakes out.
So all this news, what does it all mean for agents and brokers?
Should we be sounding the alarm?
Is it time to panic?
I wouldn't say panic just yet.
Okay.
I think savvy agents, they can actually use these market shifts to their advantage.
I like that, turning a challenge into an opportunity.
Exactly. Like, for instance, with conventional loans being tougher to get,
Yeah.
it's a chance for agents to step up.
Oh, so?
They can educate their clients about other options, different types of financing.
That makes sense.
Become that trusted advisor who can help people navigate these tricky waters.
I like it. Turning a challenge into an opportunity.
Always a good strategy.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a minute.
Sure.
Let's talk about builders, Even with all this market volatility,
Yeah.
the NAHB, their housing market index, it shows that builders are actually feeling more optimistic going into 2025.
Interesting. Why do you think that is?
Well, it seems like they're feeling good about the long-term outlook.
Okay.
They're anticipating, stronger economic growth, maybe some easing of regulations.
So almost like they're looking past the immediate bumps in the road.
Yeah, kind of like they're saying we see a brighter future ahead.
Gotcha.
But let's be real, they're not exactly working in a stress-free environment.
Definitely not.
High land prices, financing is expensive, and the cost of building materials, it's still going up.
All big challenges.
Big challenges, and some builders are even blaming potential tariffs for those rising costs.
It's complicated, isn't it?
It is. It's a mix of optimism for the future,
Mm-hmm.
but with a lot of obstacles to overcome right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of obstacles, let's talk about the skilled labor shortage.
That's always a hot topic.
It is, and simply, they did a survey.
Oh, right. I heard about that one.
They found a real divide among agents, about whether it's going to be a problem or not.
Interesting.
46% of agents, they're worried that shortages will get worse with the new administration.
Okay.
But others, they're not so concerned.
Really?
Yeah, and 20% even think the workforce will actually increase.
Wow. That's a pretty big difference of opinion.
It is. It's a fascinating debate with, valid points on both sides.
I'd agree with that.
Some people, they tie those shortage fears to past immigration policies,
Right.
saying that those policies, they hurt the construction workforce.
Makes sense.
But then others, they argue that, Well, if the demand for housing keeps going up,
Yeah.
it could attract workers from other places.
Yeah, expanding that labor pool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a wait-and-see situation.
It is. We'll have to keep an eye on how it all plays out.
Definitely.
But let's move on to another hot topic, investing.
Right.
Who's feeling more confident these days, flippers or rental investors?
Good question.
RCN Capital, they did a survey and found some interesting insights.
Oh, I'm curious to hear what they found.
It looks like flippers are riding a wave of optimism right now,
Okay.
while rental investors, they're being a bit more cautious.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it probably comes down to their different timelines, right?
That makes sense.
Flippers, they're in and out much faster.
Right, shorter-term projects.
So they're not as exposed to those fluctuations in the rental market.
And they don't have to deal with tenant issues.
Exactly. Less hassle.
Makes sense.
But I imagine rising mortgage rates, those have got to be affecting both strategies, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they make it more expensive for everyone to buy properties.
Yeah, and that puts a squeeze on profit margins, whether you're flipping or renting.
Right. No one escapes the reach of those rates.
Oh.
Now, here's something that caught my eye.
What is it?
Realtor.com, they reported that HOA fees are increasing.
Really? Across the board?
Across all home types, it's affecting affordability everywhere.
I bet inflation is a big factor there, right?
I would say so, yeah, driving up the cost of everything.
Everything from maintenance to those fancy amenity upgrades.
Exactly. And some HOAs might even be trying to refill their reserve funds after the pandemic.
That makes sense. They probably took a hit.
Yeah, so all that contributes to those rising fees.
It's a tough situation for buyers.
It is, and it makes you wonder, are these HOA fees becoming a barrier to entry for some?
Especially for those already stretching to afford a home.
Especially first-time buyers. They're already facing so many hurdles.
It's a lot to juggle.
And while we're on the topic of affordability, let's talk about aging in place.
All right.
It's a growing trend, and Carewell did a survey.
Oh, what did they find?
They found that 76% of older Americans, they want to stay in their homes as they get older.
I can see that. Makes sense.
It does, but here's the thing.
What's that?
1 in 6 of them, they see it as a financial necessity.
Not really a choice, then.
Not a choice, exactly. It makes you think, are seniors being priced out of other care options?
Yeah, could be. And if that's the case, how does that affect housing demand?
Right, and what about design trends?
A lot to consider there.
It is. It's a bigger conversation than just saying aging in place.
I need more solutions.
Solutions that are truly accessible and affordable no matter your age.
I agree.
Okay, are you ready for this?
What's up?
Space mortgages.
Space mortgages. Wait, what?
You heard that right, space mortgages.
Sounds like something out of a movie.
It does, doesn't it? But people are actually talking about it.
People in real estate, you mean?
Yeah, and it might not be as far-fetched as it sounds.
How so?
I mean, you've got companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin. They're making space travel more accessible.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So it's not completely crazy to think about mortgages for space properties.
I guess not. But what about the legal side of things?
That's a whole other can of worms, right?
The big one, how do you figure out property lines on Mars?
Right. Mind-boggling.
It is, but Deutsche Bank, they actually published a white paper about this.
They did? Seriously?
Yeah, they're looking at the potential impact of international treaties on space ownership.
Wow, it's a whole new frontier.
For real estate and for space exploration.
All right, let's come back down to Earth for a minute.
Back to reality.
Those wildfires in LA, they were devastating.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
And the real estate community, it was hit hard.
It was. So many people lost their homes, agents, clients. It's tough.
It is, and it brings up a difficult question.
What's that?
Should these communities be rebuilt?
That's a tough one. A lot to consider there.
You've got Rep. Judy Chu, she's been very vocal about the need to rebuild.
Right. Supporting those who want to go back.
Exactly. But then you have others, like Sidina Fall.
I know him, yeah.
He's arguing for letting nature regenerate.
Interesting perspective.
He thinks we need to rethink our impact on the environment.
Makes you think.
It does. And then there's Lindsay Bruger.
What's her take?
She's all about building with resilience in mind.
Okay, to withstand future disasters.
Exactly. So it's not just about rebuilding. It's about rebuilding smarter.
Smart and sustainable.
Right. Creating communities that can weather the storms, literally.
And while this debate goes on, we can't forget about the people who need help right now.
Absolutely. The Realtors Relief Foundation, they're doing amazing work.
They are, providing financial assistance to wildfire victims.
They're a lifeline for those who've lost so much.
A true lifeline.
And I encourage everyone listening, if you can, please consider donating to the Realtors Relief Foundation.
Every little bit helps.
Even a small donation can make a huge difference in someone's life.
I agree. It's a way to show we care.
To show that compassion and support that's at the heart of the real estate community.
Well said. You know, it's a fascinating thing, isn't it?
What's that?
Buyers are feeling the squeeze, right, with high rates and tougher lending.
Yeah.
But they're still willing to stretch their budgets
It's true.
to qualify for those bigger loans.
Even as sellers are lowering their prices.
So what's going on?
It really shows you how complex affordability is these days.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it kind of connects back to that record low we talked about earlier with conforming loans.
Right.
If more buyers are using those government-backed loans or non-conforming ones,
Yeah.
it could explain why the average loan amount is going up.
Even though sale prices are softening a bit.
It's like a puzzle, all these pieces fitting together.
It is, and it just highlights how important it is for agents to stay on top of things.
To understand the financing side of things.
Absolutely, because it all affects buying power, market dynamics, the whole picture.
It's not just about finding the right house anymore.
Nope.
It's about, understanding how interest rates and loan types and affordability, how it all works together.
It's a delicate dance.
It is. And let's not forget about those HOA fees.
Oh, right.
If those keep going up,
Yeah,
it could make affordability even worse, especially for first-time buyers.
definitely. Those folks are already walking a tightrope.
Speaking of first-time buyers,
Yeah.
I was looking at a Realtor.com survey, and it said that 75% of Americans,
Okay.
they still believe that owning a home, it's part of the American dream.
That's interesting, given everything we just talked about.
Right, with all the challenges, that dream is still alive.
It's a powerful dream.
It is, and you know what's interesting?
What's that?
The survey also said that it's actually the younger generations.
Okay.
Millennials and Gen Z, they have the strongest desire to own a home.
More so than baby boomers.
It's like they're saying, we're not giving up on this dream,
Even if it's harder now.
even if the game has changed.
It's inspiring in a way.
It is. It's that determination.
They're facing higher rates, tougher lending, those HOA fees.
And they're still pushing forward.
Oh.
But it's not just about the dream itself, is it?
No, there's more to it.
It's about building wealth, securing their future.
You got it. That's a big part of it.
The survey, it found that those younger generations, they're more likely to believe that owning a home, it's crucial for building long-term wealth.
Can see why they'd think that,
They've seen how expensive renting can be.
especially in those hot markets.
They want that stability, that potential for equity growth that comes with owning a home.
Smart move, really.
They're looking for something tangible, something that's theirs.
A place to put down roots, a hedge against inflation.
That's a smart strategy.
And this is where agents can really step up, I think,
How so?
by becoming more than just real estate experts,
Okay.
by becoming financial advisors, helping clients reach those long-term goals.
It's about the bigger picture.
It is. It's about helping people build their lives.
Okay, we've talked about buyers.
Right.
Let's shift over to existing homeowners.
What's on your mind?
What are the key takeaways for them from all this news?
One big one is resilience, especially after those wildfires in LA.
Yeah, that's hard to ignore.
While they're rebuilding, there's a big conversation happening.
About how to create communities that can withstand those disasters.
Exactly.
It makes you realize homeowners everywhere, they need to think about this.
About their own vulnerability.
What steps can they take to minimize the risks?
It's about being proactive.
Whether it's using fire-resistant materials,
Right.
or understanding zoning, or even just being aware of the potential threats.
It's a mindset shift
From fix it when it breaks.
to prevent it from breaking in the first place.
And this is where agents can really shine, I think.
How so?
By understanding these concepts, by guiding clients to make informed decisions.
They become invaluable advisors.
And speaking of expertise,
Yeah.
one trend that really stands out to me is the importance of working with knowledgeable professionals.
In every aspect of real estate.
Exactly, because the market's so unpredictable.
It is. Having a team of experts on your side, it's crucial.
Whether it's an agent who knows the local market,
Or a lender who can navigate those tricky financing options.
or a contractor who can build a home to last.
Those relationships, they make all the difference.
It's like building your own real estate dream team.
That's a great way to put it.
And don't forget the legal stuff.
Oh, right.
We've seen some interesting developments lately, haven't we?
You talking about the clear cooperation policy stuff?
That and those wild predictions about space mortgages.
There's been a busy week.
Well, that lawsuit against NAR, the one about the clear cooperation policy,
Yeah.
it might have been dismissed.
Okay.
But the debate about pocket listings, And MLS rules, it's not going away,
It's a complex issue.
with strong opinions on both sides.
Some folks think the CCP takes away choices from sellers.
Makes things more complicated.
Others think it's about transparency and fairness.
It's fascinating how passionate people get about these issues.
It's a good sign, actually. Shows that the industry is alive and well.
Real estate's always adapting.
To new technologies, new preferences, global events, you name it.
And all that leads to new challenges, new opportunities.
Speaking of global events, I'm curious about the new administration.
Yeah, how will it affect real estate?
That Resimply survey, it showed some mixed reactions
Some agents are worried about tariffs.
and how they'll impact building costs.
Others are hoping for some construction incentives, maybe some deregulation.
It's a tug of war.
It is, and it's too early to tell how it'll all shake out.
But you know what?
The
Real estate industry, it's resilient.
It's weathered storms before.
And it'll adapt to whatever comes next.
That's reassuring.
It is. But for agents and brokers, it's not just about weathering the storm.
It's about guiding their clients through it.
Using their expertise, their knowledge,
Understanding the market, anticipating those pitfalls,
and giving advice that helps clients reach their goals.
whether they're buying, selling, or investing.
Exactly.
So what's your advice for agents who are feeling overwhelmed right now?
Overwhelmed by all the changes, all the uncertainty.
Yeah, what should they do?
First, don't panic. Take a deep breath.
Okay, good advice.
Remember, knowledge is power.
I like that.
Stay informed, go to conferences, read those industry publications, talk to your colleagues.
Learn from each other.
The more you know, the better you'll be able to navigate this crazy market.
Makes sense. And it reminds me of something we talked about before.
What's that?
Technology is playing a bigger and bigger role in real estate.
Oh, yeah.
From those AI mortgage approvals.
To those virtual tours, it's changing everything.
And some of those predictions for 2025, they were wild.
AI processing loans in hours, big tech getting into mortgages.
That's a lot to take in.
It is, but the key is to see it as an opportunity, not a threat.
How do we do that?
Well, technology can streamline things, make things more efficient.
And it can improve the client experience.
Absolutely, but we have to use it responsibly.
Ethically, right?
Exactly, making sure it's fair, not creating unintended consequences.
So it's about finding that balance.
Between innovation and human connection.
Technology can be a powerful tool.
But it shouldn't replace those personal relationships.
That's what makes real estate special.
It is. It's about people connecting with people.
Agents who can use technology but still provide that personal touch.
They'll be the ones who succeed.
It's about being tech-savvy, but also human-centric.
I like that, a good way to put it.
And remember, technology's always changing.
What's new today is old tomorrow.
So stay curious, keep learning, explore those new tools.
That's the key.
And speaking of finding that balance,
Yeah.
let's go back to flippers and rental investors.
All right.
Flippers are feeling good right now.
That RCN survey, yeah.
But both strategies, they face challenges with these higher rates.
That's a classic dilemma.
Short-term gains versus long-term investments.
Flipping can be profitable, but it's risky, fast-paced.
Yeah, get it what you're doing.
You got to be able to spot those deals, manage renovations, stay on top of it all.
Not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not. Rental investing, it's more stable, long-term.
But you need patience.
You got to screen tenants, manage the property. It's a different game.
So it depends on your risk tolerance, your goals.
Exactly. And that's where a good agent can really help.
Help you figure it all out.
Weigh the pros and cons, guide you towards the best path
It's like having a real estate compass,
to point you in the right direction.
especially with all the twists and turns in today's market.
That compass is more important than ever.
Okay, I think we've hit all the big headlines from this week.
Feels like we covered a lot.
We did. But before we wrap up this part,
Yeah,
I want to mention the Realtors Relief Foundation again.
always a good cause.
It's amazing to see how the real estate community comes together.
To help those affected by disasters
The RRF, they provide financial assistance to victims.
and their work after the LA wildfires, it's been so important.
It reminds us that we're not just about buying and selling houses.
It's about helping people, about rebuilding lives.
It's about those dreams and that sense of community.
Well said.
You know, it really does.
It makes you realize what matters.
It's about more than just the deals, the numbers.
Right. It's about people, their lives.
Their dreams, their communities.
And when a disaster like that happens,
It's not just the buildings that are affected.
it's the whole community, that sense of belonging.
And that's where the Realtors Relief Foundation comes in.
But providing that support, that hope.
Not just financial help, but emotional support too.
It's amazing to see how the real estate community rallies around each other,
Shows what we're really made of.
Compassion, resilience, that willingness to help.
It's a powerful thing.
And speaking of making a difference,
Yeah.
how can agents and brokers thrive in this ever-changing world of real estate?
How can they set themselves up for success in 2025 and beyond?
Well, one of the most important things, I think, is staying informed.
Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. Real estate is always evolving.
New technologies, new trends, global events, it all plays a role.
You got to be proactive, seek out that information.
Read those industry publications, go to conferences, those webinars.
Don't forget those conversations with colleagues, too. Bouncing ideas off each other.
It's like being a student of real estate, always learning.
Exactly. That's what keeps it interesting, keeps you on your toes.
There's always something new to discover, a new challenge to tackle.
It's not just about keeping up with the competition.
It's about staying ahead of the curve.
Anticipating those changes, adapting your strategies.
And speaking of change, we can't ignore technology.
The elephant in the room.
It's transforming everything, how we buy, sell, manage properties.
AI, mortgage approvals, virtual tours, it's all happening.
And those predictions for 2025, some of them were pretty mind-blowing.
AI processing loans in hours, not days.
Big tech jumping into the mortgage business, space mortgages.
It's a lot to take in, but the key is to see it as an opportunity.
Not a threat. How do we do that?
While technology can make things more efficient, streamline those processes,
And it can actually improve the client experience.
what we have to use it wisely, ethically.
Making sure it's fair, that it's not creating unintended consequences.
Finding that balance between innovation and human connection.
Technology is a tool. It shouldn't replace those personal relationships.
Those relationships are what make real estate special.
Agents who can blend technology with that human touch.
They'll be the ones who thrive.
Tech savvy, but human-centric.
I like that, a good way to sum it up.
And technology is always evolving, right?
What's hot today might be outdated tomorrow.
So stay curious, keep exploring, never stop learning.
Couldn't agree more.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of real estate news,
A whirlwind of a week it was.
I want to leave everyone with one final thought.
What's that?
Amidst all this change, all this uncertainty, knowledge is power.
Words to live by.
The more you know about the market, the forces that shape it,
Yeah.
the better prepared you'll be to navigate it all.
To ride those waves, so to speak.
Stay curious, stay engaged, and never stop learning.
That's the recipe for success.
And as always, thank you for joining us on this journey,
It's been a pleasure.
exploring the ever-evolving world of real estate.
Hey there, thanks for tuning into The Wire. If you're enjoying the show and want to help us keep bringing you the latest in real estate, visit us at thewire.fm and click the Support the Wire button in the main navigation. Your support makes all the difference. Thank you. The Wire has been brought to you by Resora. Elevate your real estate marketing with Resora. Effortlessly design, manage, and automate stunning email and social campaigns with our intuitive platform built for real estate. Say goodbye to complex marketing. Get started with your free account today at resora.com. And by Notebook LM by Google. Unlock the power of your information with Notebook LM. Upload your documents and instantly access an expert AI that answers your questions, summarizes key points, and generates insights, all based on your specific sources. Become a knowledge master with Notebook LM. Try it now at notebooklm.google.